Well, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to the internet. Welcome to my channel. It's me, Odio, and I'm here today to do a review for you. It's part 2 of Rebel Moon. Now, I saw the first movie and I thought it was pretty good. Not the best movie I've ever seen, but I really liked the CGI. I honestly really liked the planet hopping. All the different planets, collecting all the different people, seeing all the different environments, things that look like a griffin at some points, a spider monster. It was really interesting. So for the sequel, Rebel Moon 2, the Wheatgiver, is it as good? Is it as exciting? Will we have as many different planets to view and exciting moments? Let's find out. Probably not, though. As Rebel Moon, the Wheatgiver, opens up, it picks up pretty much where the last movie left off. Our crew has defeated the Dreadnought ship and killed Atticus by not kicking him off a platform, pretty much. And of course, they don't know, but we, the viewer, know Atticus has somehow returned. But so as it opens up, we get some nice CGI. Listen, the whole movie has great CGI, especially whenever we're on the villain side, the evil empire. They seem to get all the best CGI. But we open up on them, and of course, as I said, Atticus has somehow returned. No way? Yes way. At least one of the more interesting parts of the movie for me was the villains. They were pretty interesting, and they were allowed to just be pure evil. You were never like, oh, they're ambiguous, so why are they doing this? No, they're doing it because they're evil, so I like that. We move in on one of the big Dreadnought ships where Atticus is recovering in a chrysalis. And I just want to make it clear, there are stakes in this, even though that guy did come back. Like, we do lose characters and stuff like that, so, you know, big stakes here, really, really matter. So, anyway, he has somehow returned, and of course, seeking revenge against the heroes, Cora and her Magnificent Seven. Or, sorry, not the Magnificent Seven, of course, but, you know, the the crew that she collected. Against Cora and Nemesis and them, and he knows they're on Velt and pretty much says she's there. They kind of figure it out. But anyway, that's kind of how the movie opens up. Then we get to our heroes. Everyone's back, and I mean everyone. Like, we're talking, there's a lot of characters. Like, we've got Cora, then we've got Nemesis. She kind of has the non-lightsabers. Titus, the old general. We've got Tarek, the guy that rode the Griffin. Jimmy, or James, the robot, played by Anthony Hopkins. I was excited to see him. He's not there a whole lot. I think there's Millicent is another one. Hey, there's a whole crew. The guy that was originally from the town, I believe his name is James. And they're all returning as conquering heroes. Hey, we've defeated the ship. Oh, Atticus is gone. They're like, are you sure he's dead? Yeah, we're sure he's dead. 100% positive. So they don't believe him, but they're like really happy. So they go in to celebrate in this big longhouse, just a big celebration, but there's nobody there. And they're like, well, there's nobody in here in the longhouse. Why are we celebrating alone? They're like, oh, we're just kind of like ashamed, I guess. I don't know. So they think it's all over because without an admiral, they don't think that they'll attack. So long story short, they're still coming. Atticus has somehow returned, and they're going to be coming to get the grain, the almighty grain. And let me tell you, this grain is important. So they know they have a couple of days till they come, so they have to defend the village. We get a nice little speech from Titus to the villagers, and let the montage begin. Now, this part is super similar to a lot of other media. Like I mentioned, The Magnificent Seven, Seven Samurai, A Bug's Life. I mean, even an episode of Clone Wars and an episode of Mando, they defend a town from, like, overwhelming odds. And this was supposed to be Star Wars, or like Battle Beyond the Stars. The difference is those are all much more concise. Certainly, it feels a lot when you watch this. Like, there wasn't enough movie to make a movie. And he did it. There was one act he did achieve. His 2-hour and 3-minute movie is somehow 10 hours long. The slow motion, I've heard, is still going. When we get there, they actually start, no word of a lie, harvesting the wheat. And they go out in the field, and it's like a lot of slow motion of them with scythes and, like, collecting wheat and then milling it into like flour. These people, they have spaceships and laser guns and like nuclear rocket bombs and whatever, but they don't have a combine harvester and they don't have anything that can harvest the grain. So it's all being done by hand, and it's a lot of slow motion. I do not know why. Even slow motion, someone getting a drink of water at one point, it just gets silly. But anyway, there are rumors that I'm still watching the wheat getting threshed. And it's like the Discovery Channel, how it's made. So that's what they're doing. And this grain, I don't know why the Empire wants this grain from this one town on this one planet, this one harvest. Like, I don't know if these are magic harvester beans or something that are going to like shoot up into the sky the way they're like, well, we can't destroy it. They're using the grain for cover. We don't want to burn it until the plot demands that it no longer matters. And then the grain is useless. So there you go. But there's a lot of time spent here. That gets the whole middle of the movie. Until we get to, I mean, for me, when you're talking about a movie, I like when we learn characters' backstories, show, don't tell. For an example, you could have two of these characters out, and then someone throws a grenade, and this person says, well, that's a special grenade that has knives that shoot out. I know, because in the gang I used to be in, when we were juniors, we had to put those together by hand, so the older guys didn't have to get hit with them. And the other person would be like, wow, you were in a gang. You get some backstory, you learn some of their knowledge, and you get like some action all at once. It's a great way to introduce characters. Not here. No, we are going to sit around a table and we are going to have an exposition dump of all 7 boring backstories in slow motion, and a lot of times making me honestly care less about the characters. Like, they're all the same. One day, an evil empire came to enter town here, enter village here, enter kingdom here, and they did horrible things, and now I seek revenge. Great. And then everybody has that story. Although I gotta say, standout, I do like Nemesis. She was interesting. She has a cool backstory and cool cool lightsaber or non-lightsaber blades. But yeah, I did like her. So yeah, she was probably my favorite character. So suffice it to say, no planet hopping, no fun creatures all over the place. We see a couple little things like a horse type thing that was pulling a plow, but not a lot. To put it eloquently, we were stuck here the whole time, pretty much, on this planet. And it's not bad. There's sweeping fields of wheat everywhere. All of the wheat you can ever need. And there's flour making, and there's kind of like village partying, dancing around in the circle, things like that. Kind of like a Lord of the Rings-esque style. They really could have used greater music. A lot of times the music really did not bring me into it. It did not make me feel like I was in, like, at moments we'd be up with the Empire. It didn't make me feel like a lavish, evil empire. It just sort of fell flat. A lot of the speeches, they just fall flat. That's a big, for the whole movie, that's a theme. But I will say, when we do finally, after the montages of building up the defenses of the town and cutting all the wheat and dancing and things, we finally do get to the final fight. The whole third act is basically a battle scene. And Atticus comes back, and I mean, he's quite identifiable with his Lloyd Christmas haircut that he's got. It's basically like a bowl on his head, and pretty much they all have that cut in the Empire. It's the standard evil Empire cut. Even our main character, Cora, does that cut at the end so that she can sort of, I don't want to ruin it for you. You want to make sure you enjoy the finale. I got to say, though, the final fight, it is pretty good. Goes on a little bit too long, kind of drags, but you get some nice explosions. You get a nice attack on the village with the waves of enemies. You see some cool technology. The CGI is really good. I mean, that's the one thing. The spaceships look great. The aerial battles look great. The weapons going off, the explosions, there's a lot of slow motion. But it is really good. This was my favorite part of the movie. I did kind of enjoy this. You do get a nice payoff. You get a good final confrontation. So it all works out good. But then, it almost like a TV show. The ending is just kind of left open. Like the next episode may happen. Like there could be another 6 Rebel Moon movies. I don't know if there will be, but this one did not really hit the mark for me. I liked the other one more. Not that it was a whole lot better, but I really just enjoyed the different locations. I liked the adventure. I liked gathering the crew together. Like I said, like a Bug's Life or Battle Beyond the Stars type thing, the different planets. And there just wasn't a lot of that in this. There's a lot of dialogue. And then when the action did come, it was pretty good, but just there was a lot of slow motion. It was dragged out. It took too long to get everywhere. It just almost like the third Hobbit movie. It was just here for the battle, and it was 2 hours. Really, that probably could have been a trim like hour and a half, and without the slow motion, maybe 20 minutes. Who knows? But yeah, it wasn't the best, but worst ways to spend a couple hours. Some of the technology was head scratching. Like I said, not having a harvester. Somehow these guys can revive people from the dead. They've got laser guns and spaceships. I'm pretty sure it was some type of coal was powering the spaceships at one point. There were some head scratcher moments. So definitely this far this year, this was the movie I'd recommend the least. If you've seen the first one, just to cap it off, probably watch it. The last third of the movie is pretty tolerable, and there is a culminating battle, so you do kind of get that, but overall, yeah, not my favorite Zack Snyder movie. If you haven't seen the first one, probably wouldn't recommend you dive in. And I have no idea what those extended cuts are going to be like. They may just be an extra hour of slow motion added in. At the end of the day, I wanted Rebel Moon to be good. It's a new IP. I like sci-fi things. I have liked some of Zack Snyder's stuff. It just it didn't do anything that I liked about the first movie, and it really just cut it down to bare bones. Prepare for fight, have fight. Just wasn't enough for me. I wanted more out of a movie. And also, just on a side note, why is Anthony Hopkins in this as that robot James or Jimmy? Between both movies, he's probably in this for like 3 minutes, 4 maybe. He has one good scene, which is pretty cool, but just feels completely underused. Just completely. Well, thanks for your time, everybody. Really appreciate you listening this far. Please like and subscribe and stay out of trouble.